Mark said that you guys didn't have your best punch tonight. Did you feel like there was any part of the game that wasn't quite on the way that it has been the last couple weeks?
Our third quarter wasn't as good as it's usually been. That's exactly what happened. I don't know. I'll watch film, and tomorrow in practice we'll figure it out. But yeah, I could feel that.
But, despite that, you guys find a way to make it a 1-2 possession game time and again. You can't control the fact that they made all those free throws late, but what did you think of just like the possession by possession execution in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, we gave effort, and we did the right things tactically to give ourselves a chance. Stuff we practiced and we worked on, and that's a plus for sure.
And then tonight was kind of one of the first extended looks at Chet and Jay Will together, just being out on the floor. What did you think of having both those guys out there? And I think Jay Will, all 5 of his assists went to Chet.
Yeah, they were good together. Both of them are really smart basketball players. And throwing them with anybody out there, they'll figure it out, and they know how to play, so it'll be easy for them. But they were good.
What else we got? Other guys?
No, it's okay.
Did you, this second game you played Denver to open up against a really good center in Jokic, and of course tonight Embiid. Any similarities when you go up against a big guy like that who demands a lot of attention, a lot of things in the low post that you can learn from?
I mean, both of those guys have been the past 2 MVPs. Really good players. They're dominant. They're really good, and they deserve a lot of attention defensively. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Shai, early on, you and Chet have had some really great chemistry on the floor. How much would you attribute that to just his year away from the game, where he could just have discussions with you, watching film and other things like that to help you guys really get going?
Yeah, he's a student of the game. And that year he was watching a lot, learning a lot. Obviously, he didn't put it to waste. He's come out to a hot start for sure because of that, because of the work he puts in. But yeah, he's made it easy for sure.
Thanks, Shai.
Nick Gallo, OKC Thunder. Chet, Mark just said that you guys didn't have your best punch today. Was there any aspect of the game that you felt like was not quite as good as it has been maybe over the last couple weeks or so?
Yeah, I feel like we had really good moments of everything throughout the game. We just have to be better at being consistent with everything. We can't be good at one thing and bad at one thing at any point in the game. We got to figure out how to be good at everything throughout the whole 48-minute game. So, it's going to come down to getting in the film room and practice tomorrow and improving those things.
Shai was just asked about you and your game, and he attributed your early success this year just to the work that you put in, and wasn't sure what that means to you to have teammates sort of recognizing not just the output but the ingredients that go into what you do on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, but at the end of the day, it starts with those guys. They put me in positions to be successful as well as coach, and yes, 100%. I come in every single day to get better and really work on my craft, so that they know what I can do and coach can know what I can do, as well as myself. And I've always done that, and I'm gonna continue to do that day in and day out, and continue to get better. There's still a lot of things that I got to clean up, which we could see in the game tonight. I got to be better, so we're going to try and do that as a team.
Speaking of teammates, first real extended minutes with Jay Will, and all 5 of his assists go to you. Sure you're excited to see him on the floor with you a little bit more, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's my dog. Great player, obviously, super high understanding of the game, high IQ, and he plays a really selfless style of basketball, so any chance to play with him on the floor, I'm happy to play with him. He's happy to play with me, and there's a little extra motivation to play good together, so we get to have a little more tandem minutes down the stretch. But it's great to have him out there. We played together in summer league and stuff, and really like that too. So it's not our first time, but hopefully it's not our last either.
Chet, Shai specifically mentioned the third quarter being kind of unfamiliar to what you guys have been used to the past couple of weeks. What did you see there that maybe help Philly gain some separation?
Like I said, our consistency. We had really good moments coming out. We were hitting shots and everything, and we just got to be more consistent on the defensive end with communication and coverages and getting matched and everything. We had some mistakes there, and we got to clean that up as a team. It's not a one-person job; it's a team effort all the way around.
Yeah, and we always ask you about the big men matchups. I mean, the big men are just good in this league, but Embiid is among the better ones. Just your first matchup with him, what'd you learn about him specifically and the ways he gets to it, and what'd you maybe reaffirm about yourself in the matchup?
Yeah, I've played against him before, but not in a real NBA game. It was like pickup before, so I knew the caliber of player he is, not only from watching film, but also playing against him. Great player, and when you have a skill set, but you also have a physical ability in terms of his size and strength that complement each other. It's a real tough guard, and it's nobody's guarding players like that one-on-one. It comes down to team defenses and trying to really scheme and make things challenging, not just for him but for the other dudes on the floor as well. And I feel like again we had really good moments of that, but as a team we have to continue to be better. But that's what the NBA is about, playing against really good players night in and night out and competing, and I feel like we did that tonight.
Another thing on playing with Jay Will, Mark was saying, getting you out of the center spot didn't really change or didn't affect you negatively offensively. What is different when he's on the floor and you're in a slightly different position?
I'd say most of the differences come on the defensive end. On offense, it just becomes a little more of a mix of things. Spacing, cutting, playing different spots more than being the primary screener. And he can space too, and I can screen, so it doesn't change too much on the offensive end. But it's definitely helpful to have somebody with his vision out there who's looking and able to get others involved from that position. So, it's great to have him out there.
Chet, earlier you mentioned that some pickup games with Embiid, but no real games. Do you guys have any sort of relationship with each other?
I wouldn't say we're like super tight, but it's all respect. We've worked out with the same trainer before, so we've been in the same gym and everything, and it's all respect from one hooper to another. I see the work he puts in, he see the work I put in, so it's all respect. But when we go out there, we're going to compete.
Well, I wanted to ask because he's another guy who missed his rookie year with an injury. Was there any sort of dialogue or advice he had for you, or reaching out either way?
Yeah. I spoke more with his trainer about it than directly with him, and his trainer was with him throughout that process of his missed year as well. So he had a lot of advice for me on how to get better. So shout out to Drew for that. But I definitely think that helped me a lot throughout my missed year as well too, which is good. Yeah.
You've scored 30+ in 2 of your last 4 games now. Do you still feel yourself getting more comfortable in this league in general?
Yeah, every night I'm looking at it as an opportunity to learn, and I've done that. I've learned from every night in and night out, and I know it doesn't stop here. I gotta continue to get better. I had a lot of missed opportunities tonight on both ends of the floor that I should have made plays on, I guess. So I just got to continue to get better.
Everybody looks at your offensive versatility, rim protector, threes and also post up, but defensively, do you like playing 20 feet away from the basket? Is that something that you prefer to do, being inside all the time?
I like to go out there and compete, and whatever form or fashion that is, whatever position coach puts me in, whatever position the team needs me to be in, I'm happy to go out there and compete in whatever role that might be on either end of the floor. Whatever I'm needed to do to try and help win basketball games is what I'm happy to do. And credit to coach and my teammates for helping to put me in positions to be successful. So all props to them on that. But as far as the details, I'm just happy to go out there and compete. For sure.
The next game's in Minnesota. Do you have anything special kind of lined up for that, or any kind of feelings about playing at home?
Yeah, 100%. It's always special to be able to play at home. I'm gonna see a lot of friends and family, and a lot of them will be at the game. So it'll be cool to see everybody and again, be able to play at home.
Thank you, Chet.
Yeah, I'm going.
Nick Gallo, KC Thunder. Jay, Will, did you feel like there was anything that you guys didn't have in terms of like your normal fastball tonight that you have had the last couple weeks, or is it more just really great opponent and needed to be better overall?
Yeah, I feel like it's more of the second thing. We know they're a really good team, and just for us, we need to attack the game. It's a full 48-minute game, and we know we got to play every minute of the game the way we want to play it.
And then, what did you think about just the pairing of you and Chet on the floor together? I think all 5 of your assists went to him, and you had some nice interplay there.
Yeah, playing with a guy like Chet makes the game a lot easier. He can hit shots on the other end. You can throw it up to him. He's going to go catch it. He's blocking shots down low if your man beats you. So just playing with Chet overall just makes the game easier.
Partially because of the time you missed, you guys haven't really done that, been out on the floor together. When you were sitting and watching him, could you kind of look and see ways you guys might be able to play off each other?
Yeah, like I said, like Chet, he spaces the floor. He can drive. He can defend 1 through 5. So I think being able to play next to him is an easy thing to do. And I've always kind of just tried to talk to Chet. With me, haven't been in the league for a long time, but with me playing a full season, I see things and I try to help him out. And there's certain times when I try to talk to him just to help him with little things. But playing with a guy like Chet is super easy.
Jay, well, earlier I asked you about, in the NBA, there's the only place where you'll be an undersized big. I wanted to ask you, when's the last time you played the 4, like, consistently? Like, obviously, this is just trying something out with you and Chet, but is this something that's sort of new to you?
Actually, I played the 4 my last year at Arkansas at the beginning of the year, so it's not that new.
And then you've shown off a lot of just passing chops. You had 5 assists tonight, just to Chet. What do you attribute that to? I mean, I know a lot of guys have, like, a late growth spurt, but it sounds like you've been a big most of your career.
Yeah, just trying to read the game, playing slow, reading the defense, and then when you have guys that you're passing to that are making shots and that can jump up and dunk the ball super easy, it's easy to get assists.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
KC Thunder. Mark, you obviously can't control the way that they hit free throws down the stretch, but what did you think about the way that you guys executed in the last 5 minutes or so just to keep this within 1 or 2 possessions?
Yeah, I mean, obviously wasn't our best game in the floor game, but I thought we gave ourselves a chance. We were able to put some game pressure on them. They made a couple timely shots. I thought they handled the pressure pretty well. They made free throws, so credit them on how they closed it. But I thought we pushed some of the right buttons out there on the court to give ourselves every chance to try to win. It's hard to win a game when you're at a deficit of 10 or 12 points that late.
Yeah. And that deficit kind of started right off the bat. Was there anything you noticed in the first few minutes of this one that you guys were able to get to later in the game defensively, or what was different during the flow of the game tonight?
Yeah, I just thought we didn't have our best punch, in terms of our physical output, mental. That certainly wasn't the best we can play. So we obviously have to get back to that. That hasn't been who we are to this point in the season. We've strung together a good amount of games now where we've brought that, but I didn't think we were bad, but I just didn't think it was our best. And obviously against a team that good, you got to have your best if you want to win the game.
I think maybe all of Jay Will's assists went to Chet. Just your thoughts on kind of the interplay between those two guys when you had them on the floor together.
Yeah, we haven't taken much of a look at that. Some of it was Jay Will missed time in the preseason and in the early part of the season, but that needs to be an option for us. It's something we wanted to make sure we took a look at some point, and tonight was a good opportunity to do it. That was the plan coming in, and I thought it looked pretty good. I thought those guys played pretty well together. Seeing Chet play kind of the non-center spot in the offense was interesting. I don't think it neutralized him any, so that was encouraging, and that's something obviously we can go to if we want to.
Mark, it felt like Philly really got separation in the middle of that third toward the beginning of that fourth. What did you see there that maybe went wrong?
Yeah, I thought, they delivered. They made some plays. They made some shots. I thought we had a couple self-inflicted mistakes, kind of unforced errors on our part. We were getting aggressive. We were trapping. I was just trying to, shake the game up a little bit. It wasn't feeling right, So when that happens, I try to look for every turn over every rock to try to turn the game, and our execution of that was just okay. So, like I said, our floor game wasn't our best tonight. Something we can learn from, obviously. We obviously have to play better, though.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of talked about the free throws, but I'm curious. You always talk about stacking possessions, but how difficult is it to stack possessions defensively when, a guy like Max or a guy like Embiid can go 23 seconds into the shot clock and get that whistle at the end of the clock?
Well, that's what they do. They're good at it, and some of that's on us. Like we can't foul them. Like I think on a lot of those plays, if we had unlimited challenges and challenged a lot of those plays, I think they would have upheld them. With the disparity, I just wish some of the contact that was called on that end of the floor was called on the other end, if that's the way it's going to get called. But we also have to be better defensively. Like we can't put the referee in a situation where they can give him a call, and I thought we did that tonight.
Mark, until pretty late, you had a little flurry of baskets. I think you were shooting 35 or 36% for the second half. Anything about the shots you were getting, or was it more what they were taking away?
Well, they're obviously a good defense that you got to work against to get great shots. I thought on a lot of possessions we didn't work together the way that we needed to get the best possible shot, and it showed up a little bit in the field goal percentage. I also thought we missed a couple good ones that we would normally hit, but like I said, it probably wasn't our best game on either end of the floor, but something we can learn from, hopefully.
And then Chet got really hot there in the third quarter. Obviously, he comes out of the game, but then when he comes back, it's a pretty long time until he gets a shot. Anything that he wasn't doing or you guys weren't doing there that maybe could have kept him more involved?
I don't know. I'd probably have to look at that. I mean, I sub him early so that we can get him back in, because obviously we stagger him a lot of nights, so that's the reason for that. And a lot of his shots kind of come out of the flow, and we usually do a pretty good job of finding him. And I thought we did a decent job of that tonight. I thought he was pretty involved, but our offense left something to be desired all the way around. When the ball moves and we get great shots, you don't feel the need to push an individual player's button. But I don't think we got the best shots tonight in the floor game. Obviously, we got it going in the fourth quarter.
Mark, tonight, Tyrese Maxey had some early foul trouble. He ends up picking up his fourth with around 9 minutes left in the third. I know it's kind of risky to go at that, and you can kind of get stagnant in your offense, but how strongly did you guys consider really testing him on that, getting his last couple of fouls?
We try to do that. That it is a little bit stagnates things, and against a smart veteran team, when you do that, they'll try to bump them out of actions, which they did a couple times. So they'll recognize what you're doing, and then before you can get them into the action, they'll put somebody else on the ball, or they'll switch the matchups, which they do a good job of. And it's a slippery slope when you start trying to make it more about targeting than running good offense. And tonight, to be honest with you, I thought if we ran better offense, we would have had a better game.
Mark, thinking back to the beginning of the fourth, that stretch to start the fourth, when you're having stretches like that without Shai, just how much do you miss a guy like Dub, especially with a defense like that is pretty heavy in the gap, and just the way they schemed?
We miss Dub. We miss all of our players when they're hurt or when they're out. But at the end of the day, we've got enough. We've got good players. We've got a lot of guys that can step up, and we've made a habit of that over time. So we had everything we needed tonight. From a personnel standpoint, to give ourselves a good chance to win. I just thought we had to play better, but this has been a team that's learned from these types of experiences over time, and that'll be our challenge. We got to learn from this one.
Anybody else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Yep.